Hi, thanks for joining me on Wilderness with Amani. I just fished Frenchman Lake for Wilderness with Amani on Patreon. Got some real nice pink meat rainbows for dinner for the next few nights. And if you want to get on that action, there's a link on my channel homepage to Wilderness with Amani on Patreon. But I'm going to stop off, and I wanted to look at Last Chance Creek. That's usually almost bone dry. And I really didn't think there was any fish in here, but I just went down there and I threw a spinner on my spinning rod, my ultralight, and some little trout chased it. So I'm gonna rig up my fly rod with about a 3-foot leader. And I'm gonna try to go down there and see if I can't get in between these bushes and get some of these scrappy little rascals out of there. I was gonna climb down at the dam, but I didn't think there were any fish in here, so I wasn't willing to go that far. But now that I actually saw fish, I think I'm willing to do it. I think I'm willing to go down there and see if I can't get something tiny in the net, because I'll take small and scrappy, so let's go. So this was one of those zebra stripe flies, but all the zebra stripe is gone and it's completely falling apart, but it's good enough for a little creek like this. My leader's about 3 feet, and it might go down to 2 feet because I need to be able to tuck it in to some real tight spots. So that's just what it's gonna be. I probably spooked everything when I walked right up to this. Might go with my spinning rod just because it's so, I'm at least gonna go get it. Because there's just so much bushes, I can't really reach the water unless I go over the bushes, and I don't want to have a situation where I'm pulling fish up into a dry net, you know what I mean? I lost one of my only flies. I'm gonna go scout this with this spinner first and see if it's worth me coming back and dealing with that. It is really tough. It's just, it's shallow where it's open, but then when you get to these funnel areas where the fish are, it's really tough to get your line in. Made some adjustments. I went from that tiny black nymph to this big, fat bomber nymph that I found on the ground, but it's got a lot of sparkle. It's lit up like a Christmas tree. I've lost the 3 flies that I had. I got a woolly bugger, but I'm not even gonna mess with that. I'm gonna go get my spinning rod and try to figure something out. I got a couple hits and I just missed the strikes. I just got a little rainbow and I didn't turn the camera on like a dummy. I've been struggling so hard, and I put on this little 1/16 ounce jig and I got a fish right away. He just was all over it. See if I can get another one now that I know that they want this thing. There we go. I mean, they like this thing for whatever reason. It's all I got. But they're just really hard to catch because these are a little too big. But I think I can get some fish with this thing. Good something. He hit that jig. I took it right under. It's a brown. Last Chance Creek. That was a 1,000,001 shot. Whoa! I'm amazed at the size of this fish for this creek. Come on, buddy. He won't go in the net. I couldn't see if he was going in the net or not. I can't believe I caught this brown. I'll show you what I did. The hook's already out of him. I have to think that this is a trophy for this creek. I was surprised. But I'll show you what I did. I took a 1,000,001 shot. I wasn't gonna make a shot with this with my spinner because I don't want to lose a spinner in this little creek. But now that I see this brown that's in here, because this creek's almost dry a lot, I'm gonna come back and fish this creek, man. I just stopped off just to make a couple casts. But check out this brown. That's a nice brown for Little Last Chance Creek, man. Look at that fish. I'm all over that, buddy. Woo! So this is one of those situations where I don't have anything to fish. I just wasn't expecting to fish a creek like this. So I had these 1/16 ounce tube jigs, and I looked and I said, if there's gonna be a fish, it's gonna be under that bush. So I threw this above the bush and I let it go under the branches, and he was under that bush. Now I'm snagged on the bush. There we go, I got it out. But that's how I got that fish. I just threw it upstream and had faith that it would go under that madness. It went under and that nice brown was in there. That was like a catch of the day, man, because I was struggling. Gosh, that nice brown just shows why I go and explore stuff like this. And now that I saw that brown, I was looking down off the canyon up there, and there's some pretty nice pools down there, but nothing I was prepared to go down and battle through to get to, you know? But now that I know that there's nicer fish in this little tiny creek, I might have to go explore it. Got a something, another rainbow, I think. They really like these jigs though. I'm gonna come down here. I got some really small, like 1/32 ounce. We'll let them sit in the net for a second and then I'll show them to you. I'm still amazed by that brown. If there's a brown that big, there's a brown even bigger. All right, this guy's going crazy in the net. Let's take a look at him. I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes. I didn't bring my mosquito stuff. I wasn't planning on fishing a creek. Nice rainbow though. All these fish are wild little fish. Woo! Get him back in there. There he goes. Dart him back. I'll show you what I did. There's kind of some slow water over there. So I cast beyond that tree and I just jigged this up and down right in front of that tree. And that guy came out. He came out. He was over there. Pretty tasty looking spots. I'm going to cast this thing upstream and I'm going to bounce it right along the bottom. And nothing was chasing it. I'm coming back here. Don't worry. I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes right now. All right, I now see that there's some really good fly fishing water, so I need to get back with my fly rod and actually have some flies. I feel like a dummy losing my 2 flies up there because this is the kind of stuff I love to fish with my fly rod. And it's tough to get tight to cover, but this is definitely going to take another trip. Oh, he's caught up on the bottom. He's caught up on a stick. Oh, he got caught on a stick in the middle of the river, man. Darn it. I got to get out of here. I'm getting bit by mosquitoes. I don't have my bug stuff in my backpack. I just wasn't ready for mosquitoes this early. I didn't think I'd be fishing a grass-banked creek like this. But this jig, once I got up into the water where I really needed my fly rod, this jig was not working. I could see fish following it and looking at it. They weren't going to take it. The only reason that brown bit this, it wasn't because it wanted to bite this and thought it looked good. It was because it was under that bush with rushing water. And that was all cast. I made a little toss ahead of it, drifted it underneath, just like I was fishing bait or something, and he nailed it. Because they fish under that in that situation don't have an opportunity to look and decide whether or not they want to eat something. They just gotta bite it. And that's what you count on when you're using things like a 1/16 ounce tube jig in a tiny dribbling creek. So that worked out. But seeing I got that other rainbow and I lost another rainbow like the one that I got in the net before, and I didn't turn the camera on for some reason. I want to come back here. I want to come back with flies. I had 2 nymphs. I lost one in a tree, and the other one I had on my knee, and it fell in the grass when I was going to tie it on, and it just was gone. So, hee-haw! And This was a surprise. I was really surprised. That brown felt like a trophy in this little creek. Especially using like the only lure I had. All I've got are 1/8 ounce marabou jigs. I have a couple woolly buggers, and I have those nips. And then I have my spinners, and these two, I had 2 of these jigs in with my spinner box. I didn't want to use my spinners in here because I didn't want to lose a spinner with all these branches hanging over the edge of the water. But anyway, I was all stoked on Little Last Chance Creek. And now I get to drive home and eat the killer trout I caught up in Frenchman Lake fishing for Wilderness with the Monty Patreon this morning. So this day turned out pretty good. But I'm going to do some more fishing tomorrow. I got to get home, get these videos up, and get some dinner in my belly. Thanks for joining me on Wilderness with the Monty. Until next time.